It's that time of patch. Planar Fissure event, double the drops, double the garbage is making a return. And in this video, we're going over every single world with every single planner pairing, recommending what ones you should and should not be farming and what reasons on why. Since there are so many planners, I'm going to be talking really fast, so do be sure you're paying attention. Stuck grinding in Honkai Starro? Need Stellar Jates fast? We've got you covered. Head over to U7 Buy, your ultimate gaming hub for save, fast, and cheap in-game top-ups. Whether it's Starro or your other favorite games, U7 delivers instantly and players love it. Check out their Trustpilot reviews, they're actually top ranked. On the Honkai Starro top-up page, you can recharge your account in seconds. When you head over to the page, all you need to do is pick the pack you do want, enter your UID and server, and buy now. If you want codes and coupons to apply, be sure to create an account for proper savings. USD is a recommended usage currency for best saving. Once everything is set, you can see the savings you're about to get. Want even extra savings? Be sure to use code PRESR at checkout for 5% off. Perfect for last minute pulls or surprising a friend. Click on the link in the description, recharge fast, save more, and keep blazing those trails. Starting it off with Space Station and Ageless. No, well, just no. Both are so outdated, just don't bother. Then there's Talia and Vonwacq. Talia no longer has value, as every break character that wants to function is going to be with Dahlia, and with Dahlia you just run Forge on them, so that doesn't matter. But Vonwacq is still such a broken set in general, but since it isn't necessarily that efficient to farm, I would highly recommend just using Remains instead, which is going to be a very common reoccurring theme when there is just one you want and the other one you don't want. So I would not recommend farming this unless you're a very Vonwacq heavy account, which honestly based. Other than that, I would not bother. Cosmic and Differentiator, probably even worse value than the first world, just because Pan Cosmic, you really only can use this on like Welt if you want like best DPS setups, and even he has some better options for that. And Differentiator is the worst relic set of red in a gacha, period. If you're caught running this, you should, maybe games are not for you. Then we have Belobog and Salsotto. Belobog, no one relevant uses it anymore. Salsotto, it's usually never best in slot anymore. There's just so many better ones, but it's still not completely worthless on its own, but I rather just have the better options in this case, and really every character that can use Salsotto would have a better option, so this world is not recommended either. Rutilant and Keel. Rutilant, a lot of cases where it's still just as good, if not ever so slightly worse, so this set still does have some value. Flip side, you have Keel, which is a supportive set, but it is an outdated one, as all supportive sets do ideally want 5% energy regen. Unfortunately, Keel does not have that, so this world isn't super valuable anymore because Rutilant can be best in slot on a lot of popular strong characters like Anaxa. Not much worse than the best option for someone like Finon as opposed to his best option. So yeah, there are cases, but in this case, it would be a relic remain thing. Then there's Glamoth and also the Penacony set. Glamoth also not really used much anymore, so that's not too valuable. Penacony, the set is good when applicable, but there's not like a bunch of cases where it is applicable. It's primarily just putting it on like Sparkle or like Rin when paired with like Archer, or Sparkle with Zele, or if you're running the OG Silverwolf with Zele Archer, so on and so forth. When it's actually applicable, it's usually best in slot, but in those cases, and more on the niche cases, you would just use Relic Remains as well. Desolation set and also Izumo. Desolation, this is really something you only use in Perfection. It's not a bad set on its own. It just takes too long to stack, and there's better options. And then there's also Izumo, which personally never liked the set. Usually people who could use this can honestly get by with using Salsotto instead, but if you really need that extra crit rate and the slight attack, then it's valuable. But to be honest, there really is just better options. The only one that I'd really say like this is still like the best for is like the Herda, but yeah, this would also be a Relic Remains case if you really want someone to use Izumo, as the other set doesn't have much value. Then we have Duran and also Forge. Duran, best in slot for any follow-up DPS that can actually stack it up on a team, so really anyone on a follow-up team doing damage. Best in slot damage-wise for like an E2 Mortanix. And with E2 Mortanix, there's a lot of people that can hold this when they do big ultimate off damage. Like for an example, you can give this to Gilgamesh with E2 Mortanix, as the effect would be working. So Duran, as long as the other characters, is always going to be valuable until they eventually power creep the set. Forge is best in slot for every break character, as you run them with the Dahlia, so you can always have the effect up, or at least if you are timing it right. And if you're running a break character without the Dahlia, then you're not playing break. So if you're using break, you're farming Forge. So if you have break characters and follow-up characters, this is one of the most valuable places you can farm. One or the other, then you would focus on something else and do Relic Remains. Lushaka and Bananamusement. Lushaka, one of the best supportive sets in the game, the most common one actually. And then Bananamusement, this isn't best in slot in many characters. It's best in slot for primarily like Aglia and like Jingwan, but like we're not talking about Jingwan. And then there's also characters you can put it on when you pair them with Permazetary Dawning, as you can help them activate the full effect, which in those cases is valuable, but most options would have a comparable option that's a lot less restrictive, so that's why it's not really done. Hence Hence why if you do have like Aglia, and every account will have a benefit for Lushaka, you would be able to farm it. If you only have value for Lushaka, honestly, Lushaka is so valuable to the point that I actually would say why not farm this even if you don't need Bananamusement. That's just how good and universal Lushaka is as of currently still. Bone and Giant Tree. Bone is usually the best install for every single HP scaler that's doing damage, and even someone like Triby. So if you have those HP scalers, this set is automatically valuable. Giant Tree, this is the best install for any healer if you're looking for best healing output, and then also very commonly always will be on Hyacine. So most accounts would probably have Hyacine by now. So this world is also very valuable as long as you have the HP scaler and also the healers to account for this. If one or the other, Relic remains. Then we have Arcadia and also Revelry. So Arcadia still isn't used by many people. It's only really on Finon. This is his best install over Rutilant, but just by roughly 2 to 3%. And then you can also use it on Evernight, but Evernight has more consistent and usually better results on Bone. So this set is only for the people that really just have Finon on their accounts that actively use them. And the flip side, this is the best install for any dot person doing damage. So if you have Finon and you have the dot team, this would be valuable. Otherwise, it remains. Amphoreous set and Tengoku set. Amphoreous, you usually always will slap this on Cyrene, but you can also use it on RMC. Those are the two characters that use it. If they're both on the team, you'd usually just give it to RMC in favor of more damage for Cyrene. Plus, you can have the effect up way quicker with RMC. Flip side, the Tengoku set, this is best install for anyone that's able to actually really utilize it. If you're running the new main DPS Rin stuff, it's best install for her. You can throw this on Sparksy. You can use this on Archer as it's his best in slot. If you're using the old character, Danhang IL, he can use it. With Sparksy specifically, she has another set that's comparable, but this is still just a good set on her in general. So if you have those combinations, you can farm it, otherwise remains. Then Punklorde and also Cidium Converging Stars. So Punklorde, any Elation character doing damage, this is their best in slot. You run this on Silverwolf, you run this on Evanesia, you run this on the upcoming character Aventurian as of currently. You can also throw it on Sparksy, as I mentioned. This is the other set that's comparable to Tengoku. So if you have those Elation teams or Elation DPS in general, that's valuable. Flip side, this one is actually quite universally good. As someone on the team really just needs a follow-up attack, it gives them an attack increase as long as they scale off attack. It's good. And then some supportive capability with 12% crit damage for the team. Ideally, you throw this on like Permetatere Daning because he has the Soul Dragon be a follow-up attack. Then he's able to get the attack benefit and also be able to give everyone 12% crit damage. But you can also throw this on your Astral, your Cypher, so on and so forth. So if you have a combination of those characters, Converging is valuable, and then you also have the Elation main DPS, so this would be valuable. Otherwise, you guessed it, remains. Finally, for the newest one, the Fallen Star and also Cosmic Life. Fallen Star is best in slot for Himiko Nova, but there are some stuff you can do with other people because Himiko Nova is not the only one enabling Trailblaze Companion. If you have Welt alongside like RMC as like a main DPS Welt, you can throw it on them for good results. And by that, I mean mainly Welt, as it's going to be the focus on the person doing damage. So those kind of setups can also make this possible. And even something like if you're running a main DPS Evernight with RMC, you can actually activate it by putting this on Evernight, and since RMC is on there as well, you would get this effect. So there are good ways to use it, outside of just Himiko Nova, that is. On the flip side, we have Cosmic Life. Right now, this is only really used on Artoria, which is Saber, and Gilgamesh. So if you have Artoria and or Gilgamesh, this set will be valuable for you. And then if you either have Himiko Nova or those Trailblaze setups that I was talking about, this could be valuable. Once again, like having RMC alongside main DPS Evernight, you'd put this on her, or a Trailblaze Companion alongside a main DPS Welt, so on and so forth. But primarily Himiko Nova. Then this place would have valuable for you. Otherwise, finally, you would also guess it here, Relic remains. And that is the video, what you should and should not be farming. I do hope you found this video helpful. If you did, drop a like, it would be greatly appreciated. If you're new to the channel or haven't done so already, be sure to subscribe and turn on the bell for future videos like this, along with all the tips and all content. And I'll see you later. Peace out.